Second Carnatic War we saw what happened and when it ended. We will see today again the Third Carnatic War, which was in year 1758 to 63. There is a background for the Third Carnatic War. What was the background? The background says that English and French in European country due to the Industrial Revolution. So in Spain and in Austria, English and French were trading. In French and Austria, English and French people were trading. And when Industrial Revolution took place, so new machines, new things were found. So there was a more profit in trade and commerce. And so Spanish and Austria, to gain the supremacy over Spanish and Austria, there again developed a rivalry between English and French. They again began to fight for the supremacy in Spain and what you call it as Austria, and that led to 7 years war from 1756 to 63, and this was the reason for Third Carnatic War. And in 1757, okay, that is after Second Carnatic War, in 1757, what happened that the Nawab of Bengal and English, there was a battle between them, which is called Battle of Plassey. This I will explain you later, it is in your reader. But as this 1757, the Bengal came into the hands of English. There is a reason behind telling you now the Battle of Plassey, because after capturing Bengal, whatever the army forces, whatever the other wealth was there, it came into hand of British, which helped them to fight against French, and that made them to win in the Battle of Vandivash in the Third Carnatic War. So this background was needed. Now what happened is that, I told you in Second Carnatic War, what happened? Duplex was called back. And Charles Godhu replaced Duplex. After that, when the war in the European countries between English and French took place, Charles Godhu was not a, what to call it as a well versed in administration, and also did not have any mind to expand the French areas. So they replaced Charles Godhu by a very powerful person, Count de Lally. He was same like Duplex, very ambitious. He wanted to have power over the southern India, and wanted to create a supremacy, and wanted to rule the southern India. So Count de Lally came to India. As soon as he came to India, he captured Fort St. David. See how powerful he may be, that as soon as he came, he captured Fort St. David from the Britishers. Then what happened? This Count de Lally, okay, there is a reason behind Battle of Vandivash. What is the reason? That I will tell you. Before that, a small story is there. This Count de Lally, after capturing Fort St. David, he was with full high confidence. Yes, I can now defeat Britishers anywhere in the South India, and I can gain one by one the places from them, and we can establish supremacy in India, and we can rule India. So what he did is that he called Bushi, who was in Hyderabad as a Governor General, and he told to come and help him to conquer Madras, that is a fort of Vandavashi in Madras. So Bushi came to help what to call it as the Count de Lally to capture Madras. But what happened? They fought against English, but they lost. That enraged Count de Lally, and what he did, he then wanted to capture fort of Vandavasi in Tamil Nadu. So he attacked British force, but by that now Britishers had the help of the Bengal, because Bengal was in their hand. So the army from the Bengal, whatever the for war is needed, wealth is needed, that all came for their help in what we call as Battle of Vandivash. And this Battle of Vandivash was between English and French in 1760. That is between British East India Company and French East India Company. In British East India Company, Lieutenant General was there, Sir Eyre Crote. And in French East India Company, Count de Lally was there. So there was war between Sir Eyre Crote and Count de Lally. So what happened? Sir Eyre Crote defeated Count de Lally very badly, and French were defeated very badly in Battle of Vandivash. That's very important. So this is the second time what is happening. The English people won. In Second Carnatic War also the English people won, and in Third Carnatic War also in Battle of Vandivash English people won. Who was that person? Lieutenant General Sir Eyre Crote. He fought against Count de Lally and defeated him very badly. That is how what happened. In the meantime, in Europe, I told you there was 7 years war. Okay, and in 1960 the Battle of Vandivash took place. So in 1963 again what happened? The English and French, they thought that we have to stop the war and we have to be peaceful. That I will explain you later on. Once again I want to explain the background and then what happened in Third Carnatic War. So what happened in Europe when Industrial Revolution took place? So Industrial Revolution means what? Industries were built, machines and scientific development like machines were built, and there was more profit. And meanwhile in Spain and in Austria, British and French trading centers were there. So they saw that wealth can be accumulated with the Industrial Revolution. So they started to fight again for supremacy. Got it up? So what they did that the English and French, they wanted supremacy in Spain and Austria, which led again war of, which is called 7 Years' War from 1756 to 63 between English and French. That affected in India. So in India also the war started between English and French. But before that, in 1757, after the Second Carnatic War, what happened is that the Naval of Bengal, he attacked English. But by the time English army was developed and they also had a strategy to fight, so they defeated Nawab of Bengal in the Battle of Plassey, which was in 1757, and the Britishers or English captured Bengal. Detail the Battle of Plassey I will teach you afterwards. So Bengal came into the hands of English. It was a boon for them, because whatever the army force of Nawab of Bengal was there, whatever the wealth was there, everything came in the hands of English. Then what happened? I told you in Second Carnatic War, the person called Charles Godehue replaced Dupleix. Dupleix was called back. Okay. After that, what happened? When English and French started to fight in European countries, the French called back the Charles Godehue and they wanted to replace with a very powerful person who had in mind that to expand the area of the French or to gain the supremacy in South India. So Charles Godehue was replaced by Count de Lally. He was also ambitious and he was a very powerful person. He was like Duplex. As soon as he came, he captured Fort St. David. And then what he did, he contacted Bushi, who was in Hyderabad, and called him that you come with your force, we both will go together and capture Madras, because he had a confidence, high confidence after capturing the Fort St. David, that he thought I will easily defeat English. But what happened? Both the Bushi came from Hyderabad to Carnatic. Seeing this opportunity, Britishers attacked Hyderabad and captured Hyderabad. And here Madras did not came into their hand, they lost. This made Count de Lally frustrated. So what he did, whatever the army was there, he again accumulated the army and he wanted to capture Fort of Vandavasi in Tamil Nadu, and that is how the Battle of Vandivash took place. And the Battle of Vandivash took place in 1760. It was between English and French, that is British East India Company and French East India Company. By that time, in British, Lieutenant General Sir Arcot was there, and in French, the Count de Lally was the general. The fight took place, but what happened? Sir Arcot, that is the British or the English army, was more. By that time, Bengal was in his hand. So whatever the army force of Bengal was there, and what was the wealth was there, all was in the hand of British. So they defeated the French, that is Count de Lally, and they won the Battle of Vandivash. So this was the second win. In Second Carnatic War, they won, okay, and in Third Carnatic War, so they won Battle of Vandivash. Battle of Vandivash was the only battle which was fought in Third Carnatic War. I told you what happened in Battle of Vandivash. That is, the Britishers or English defeated the French, and they gained the supremacy over French. So what was the effect of Battle of Vandivash? What happened after the Battle of Vandivash for the French? When I was explaining the Battle of Vandivash, at that time I told you that Count de Lally asked Bushi to come and help him from Hyderabad to conquer Madras. At that time I told you, Bushi came with a large force and helped Count de Lally, but they were defeated in Madras. Okay, and after that, the Count de Lally again he went and fought with English, and that is what Battle of Vandivash took place. And in the Battle of Vandivash, Bushi was taken as a prisoner. He was prisoned by the English. So only now Count de Lally was left alone. So he defended the Pondicherry, his area of trade, but he could not defend more. He defended only for 8 months because he was a lone person, a powerful person, and there was no help of Bushi because he was captured and imprisoned by English. So for 8 months he defended, and then he surrendered Pondicherry in 1761. Meanwhile, in Europe, I told you 7 years wars was taking place. That came to an end. Again, there was a peace between English and French, and they signed a Treaty of Paris in 1763, which affected India also. And in India also, the English and French signed the Treaty of Paris in 1763 with a condition. The Pondicherry and Chandanagar was given back to French for trading purpose. That means what? When the treaty is signed, I told you there is a exchange of whatever is lost by French will be given to English, and whatever is lost by English will be given to French. So what happened over here is that the English people returned Pondicherry and Chandanagar to France for trading, and they told that they should not wage any war. There should be no war army kept for that purpose. Only they should trade, like how Portuguese came to India only for trading purpose. That was the condition of France, and they got Pondicherry and Chandanagar. After that, what happened when the France limited themselves for trading? They were not able to wage the wars for the supremacy. So what happened? English became superior, and British East India Company started to develop like anything, because there were no rivals. French was no more in war against English. So what happened? The natives, that is Indians, who were seeing all this development, they were afraid that the Britishers are so strong that they defeated French and they conquered so many places. So these natives thought, if we want to survive, we have to join hands with English. Why the French failed in the Battle of Vandivash? What was the reason of French failure? So first point, that is, the British East India Company was a private company. So the lesser governmental control. So control of government was less, and they were able to take their own decision by themselves. But French East India Company was a government company. They were not able to take sudden decision. They have to wait, they have to ask, and then the decision they were able to take. That was the first reason for failure of French in Battle of Vandivash. Second one, strong naval base was there. Naval means the fight is to take place through sea. So you want navy to be very powerful, and English had powerful naval base. They had 3 strong naval bases: Madras, Calcutta and Bombay. But what happened to French? They had only 1 naval base, that is Pondicherry. So what happened? Why the strong naval base? We will see. Because from Madras, if the fight is going on in Madras, so from Calcutta and Bombay, the naval forces can be called for the help to fight in Madras. But that was not the case for France, because French had only 1 naval base, that is Pondicherry. If that naval base is attacked, there is no one to help them. So that was a main failure. Third thing, what happened? Superior British commanders, very good commanders were there. Like Robert Clive was there, Airwood was there, and Lawrence was there, who were superior British commanders. In French, only 1, because Dupleix was called out, and Dupleix was replaced by whom he was replaced by Godieu, and Godieu was again called back, and he was replaced, and Godieu was replaced by Count de Lally, and he was only 1 strong person in the French team, and no one was there to help him. So that also was a reason for French failure. And the last was, British was strong with the funds, because by the time the supremacy of British was established in India, they started to collect the revenues. And Bengal came in hand, and I told you. So whatever the wealth in Bengal was also in their hand. Revenues was there. So money was more in British hand, and they were strong, and whatever they wanted, they can do with the money. And that is also a main important point for the French failure. So this is what regarding the Third Carnatic War. So once again I will explain you that Battle of Vandivash was the only battle which took place in Third Carnatic War. It was from 1758 to 63. Effects of Battle of Vandivash. What happened? I told you before only that Bushy was called by Count de Lally to help him to conquer Madras, but they lost Madras. Okay, by that time the Britishers captured Hyderabad. That enraged Count de Lally, so they themselves and attacked what you call it as Britishers in Van de Wash, and they wanted to capture that. But that was the Battle of Van de Wash. The English were not able to pronounce Vandavasai properly, so they called it as Van de Wash. That is what the Battle of Van de Wash took place. Okay, so what happened when the Battle of Van de Wash was lost by French? Bucci was taken as prisoner by Britishers. So Count de Lally was only left in Pondicherry. He defended 8 months Pondicherry, but he was not able to defend more because only one person. So what happened in 1761, he surrendered Pondicherry to Britishers. Meanwhile, I told you that in Europe, 7 years war was taking place between English and French for the supremacy. That also ended with the Treaty of Paris in 1763. At the same time in India also, the Treaty of Paris was signed between English and French. French people got back their Pondicherry and Chandanagar only for trading purpose. That was the a condition for Treaty of Paris. And they were not to be involved in any wars, just like trading, how Portuguese were for trading. In the same way, the French also had to stay in India for trading purpose. And then again what happened? English became superior. They started to, because these people cannot expand. So English started to expand their rule over India. Supremacy in trading also and in conquering the places also. So British East India Company became very powerful. The natives joined hands with the English, means the Indian kings who were watching all these events, they were afraid, because English were very strong. So they joined hands with the English to keep their kingdom for themselves. Then, why did French fail in Battle of Van de Wash? What is the reason of French failure? So first and the foremost important thing is that lesser governmental control. British East India Company was a private company, so the government cannot interfere in it. Britishers were able to take the decision very quickly, because I told you in 1600 when Queen Elizabeth gave permission, 15 years permission she gave to British East India Company that you can do trading and there will be no interference from the government. So it was a private company, so they were able to take the decision very quickly. But for French, what happened? It was a government company. That time communication was not so good as we have today. They had to wait for a long time from the France and decision to come through letter. There was no phone, no mobile, nothing. So communication was very poor. So that was a big, failure for French in Battle of Van de Wash. Second thing is what? Strong naval base. That time the battle is to take place in sea only. So naval base should be very strong to fight, and Britishers had a very strong naval base, and they had 3 main naval bases: Madras, Calcutta and Bombay. In that also French could not compete, because French had as a Pondicherry only 1 naval base. And one thing I forgot to tell you, now I will inform you. What happened that? I will tell you that. English people, I told you that in Europe there was a rivalry between English and French. That was the reason for First Carnatic War. I told you. At that time, I told you that English people attacked certain ships of French, which made Dupleix angry. In that, some of the ships were lost. And that was the reason for the naval base became very weak, and only 1 naval base was there, that is a Pondicherry, and that was also not strong naval base. That is the reason for the French failure. And third reason is what? Superior British commanders. So who were fighting with French, the commanders were very much superior, like Robert Clive was a very clever fellow. Okay, then Arcot, who won the Battle of Naval, and Lawrence. These were the superior commanders. After Dupleix went to France, only Count de Lally was the only one person left in the French team, and everything he only has to think and he only has to do, and there was no strong hand to help him. So that is why the French failed. And the last reason that British was strong with funds. By the time the Britisher had supremacy over India in trade and in some of the places where England had, so they started to collect revenue. And Bengal was the main which had more wealth, and that came in the hand in 1757, I told you, and that made them to be strong with funds, and they were able to do anything. So this is what reason for French failure, and this ends your Third Carnatic War. So I will stop over here. Tomorrow I will start with a new topic. Goodbye children. Thank you children.